Hey, tubers. Bart coming at you. Happy Friday. We deserve it. Day. Just got back from a work trip from a couple weeks where I was able to make the drive down to Nashville for a card show called the Nash-ional. It was pretty cool. Pretty good sized card show. I dug it. I don't get to go to too many card shows, especially, it's tough to sneak away on the weekends and during prime hours when kids and wives are running around and things like that. So that was pretty cool. Even got recognized by somebody. That was totally unexpected. So shout out to Greg and his wife. He came over and said hello and everything. That was pretty cool. Caught me off guard a little bit with the recognition, and then just, you put cards in front of me, I'm getting in a zone, and it's tough to pull me out of it. And I just love going to the shows and seeing the displays, and I'm just like, it's like super eBay scrolling, but get to see some of those vintage cards in person and things like that. Sorry, getting a bogus call on the phone there. The cards just, they hit you a little bit differently when you see them in person versus, certain vintage ones and things like that. Scrolling on eBay and stuff. So caught me off guard. A minute or two later, I was like, man, I should have chatted him up a little bit better. But made the rounds. I made it through that whole place twice in like 2.5 hours. I did not pull the trigger on anything, and that's kind of par for the course for me when I go to shows, because, unless it's rare, or just that fantastically priced, like I can find it later. I don't need to burn a hole in my pocket right now. I should have pulled the trigger probably on a 48 Bowman PSA 3 Yogi. But it was just, wasn't vibing it. Like, the dude he was all the way in the back. He only had like one display. That Yogi was sitting right in the middle. And him and another guy at that table were chatting behind the table. I don't know who was representing what when I asked. And I was like, what are you looking for on that Yogi? He said $650, which was pretty reasonable, but I don't know. It was like he couldn't totally be bothered by it. And he was like, oh, that's the rookie or whatever. So I was, maybe I was a little insulted by him telling me that was the rookie or something like that. And then, it wasn't a bad deal at all, but, it wasn't a good enough deal for me to really go crazy about it. And, something about buying at shows too. When there's a lot of people that expect cash at shows. And I'm a normal human being. I just don't run around with pockets full of cash, because if I don't spend it at the show, then what? But I'm not going to feel like I'm obligated to spend it at the show either. I had a little bit in my pocket, but I wouldn't come in with $600 or anything like that. So, it wasn't, stars didn't align, didn't feel it. The Yogi will be there at some other point, right? So, didn't worry about it, but had a good time. Got to see a lot of cool cards. There was some really neat vintage there. Some really old stuff, too, even, non-sports, Abe Lincoln's from the 1860s and stuff like that. It was pretty neat. And I like going to shows. It's weird, but I like to see the Pokemon. All three of my boys are into Pokemon a little bit. One of them likes the sports stuff too, but all three of them are kind of into the Pokemon because that's what their friends are into and stuff. So I try to pick them up, certain cards, especially if they're doing good. It's kind of a reward system or whatever, but it gets them into the hobby as well. So it's me cheating a little bit as well, but I don't know a whole lot about it. It's pretty simple. If it's a cool looking PSA 10 and it costs $30, well, that's grading's the $15-20, so that's probably what the PSA 10 is worth. But beyond that, I don't know that much. So I like to peruse all of that stuff as well. Been doing pretty well with that, though. Gotten my kids some good cards about 1.5 years ago. If anybody knows about that type of stuff, I got myself and my oldest son, he's 11, the Pikachu with the gray felt hat. It's kind of a, I don't want to say a mocking because it's a positive thing, but of a Van Gogh painting. And I paid a lot of money for them. I paid like $240 for these things each. But I thought they were really cool. They were really popular at the time. And now they're like $800 so each. So that did pretty well. So, I'm approaching it smartly and trying to learn about the Pokemon a little bit. So I give something worthy to my kids, worthwhile to my kids, and they can appreciate it a little bit more too. So I enjoy the whole aspects of the shows, as opposed to only having to bounce back between, only looking for a certain sport or looking for just sports versus trading card game and stuff like that. I get to look at it all, and it's a good time. So got to enjoy that, and shout out to Greg and his wife for enjoying the show and saying hello. Throw a comment in there and let me know where you're at there, Greg. So now finally into the mail day, 6 minutes into it. This showed right before I departed, but National Treasures Terrell Owens, it's out of 99. When this first got released not long ago, or at least the Terrell Owens first started popping up, these were going for like over $100, $150 for early ones. I was like, there's no way you're going to get that out of me, I was like, I'll go about 60, 65 maybe. I don't know, 6, 7, 8 of them into it. Obviously the prices go down, and I definitely knew it's out of 99, so we're all good here, right? And got it for $35. So that was pretty sweet. Picked up a Bowman's Best from 15 Atomic Bryce Harper. I got a couple. Somehow my Nationals PC has developed a little bit into Atomic Refractors, and I keep that PC pretty lean. That's pretty easy because the Nationals haven't been very good as far as like superstar players and stuff like that. Obviously they've had Bryce Harper and Juan Soto, not a whole lot of other levels beyond those, and they were only there for so many years. So that PC gets to stay pretty small, so I'm trying to do like, neat Atomic Refractors to kind of be in that PC. I don't know how many are there. There's 3, 4 of these. Somehow all these years, my Topps base set of TO doesn't have an 06. So picked up 3, 4 of those from one buyer, and then there's another one in there. I just thought this holder was cool. It's still in there, but it would have been cooler if there was a top loader inside this thing, but it was a penny sleeve in that. I find that hard to believe that this thing is necessarily cheaper, but I guess if you buy cardboard like that in extreme bulk, it could be. But I thought it was a neat thing anyway. Just be cooler if it was a top loader also. Let's get into some slabs. This is a beauty right here. First ballot Hall of Famer. If Sachs had been an official statistic, he would have been well up there. I think around the 100 sack threshold. So pretty cool. 52 Bowman Large, Gino Marchetti. I'd kind of been holding out for a 7, but when a real beautiful 6 popped up like that, I went for it. It does belong to a couple of sets, and if I can get the points on a deal, waiting for a 7 was what I was kind of trying to do. But when this come up, I was like, all right, I'll just upgrade some other card and get those points back. But I'm getting that beautiful 6. 4 sharp corners pickup here. Got a 98 Topps Bryant Young. That's an upgrade for me. For years, these were, none of these were graded, and you couldn't find them, so you had to sub your own. And then all of a sudden, in the last couple months, 97 and 98 4 sharp corners, managed to slab a couple of 10s. So they've been selling a fair number of those, and I picked one up. Got a little hockey state of mind, so picking up some hockey all-time greats. There's Nicholas Lidstrom from 91 Upper Deck. An all-time great, but also a Hall of Fame Capitals guy. Going to a Capitals game on March 1st. Caps. The Scott Stevens rookie. Hall of Famer PSA 9 from O-Pee-Chee. Pretty cool there. And then baseball. Filling in some holes for my Baseball Hall of Fame set. I got most of the near-term modern ones. But there's a couple of holes. There's like 2-3 holes in the 80s, and then a fair number of holes in the 70s. I'm actually doing better in the 60s, I think, than the 70s. But wasn't no rush to get this one, this Jack Morris here, because there's plenty of them. This is a fresh lab. Super, super sharp card. And then last but not least, kind of the Caps number 2 offensive guy on numbers and things behind Ovechkin. And he got to play with him all along. He's got a hip injury right now, so it might be the end of his career, but he's got all the stats he needs to at least be a team all-time great, and probably get in the Hall of Fame at some point. So Nicholas Backstrom from 07 Upper Deck. That is the Young Guns. And, pretty cool. Kind of got lucky, and 3 of these popped up at the same time, because the pop's like 117 or something like that. And hadn't seen one for a little bit, for about a month as I was waiting, and then some seller listed 3 of them. So then you just get to play the game of which one I'll bid on versus hopefully other people, you know, if there's 3 of us really going after it, let's not bid each other up. Let's just all get one, right? I got it for a decent price, so pretty happy with that. And that's my mail day. Pretty good mail day, because when you're on the road for work or whatever, you got plenty of time to scroll eBay. And so I'll have some other good mail days coming in as well, because I didn't stop this week, and that stuff just hasn't quite gotten here yet. But enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend, and until next time, later.